Okay, we're looking at mixed exercise 10 from the first year textbooks. This is on trigonometry. So question 1, we're asked to write each of these as the trig ratio of an acute angle. Okay, so I'm going to do this by having a think about the graphs of each of these. So I sketch out the graph of cos x. So that's 360, that's 180, it's 1, that's -1, that's y, that's my x-axis. Okay, and they want the cos of 237. Well, that's 270, so 237 will be about there. Okay, so that's going to give me a negative value. So I can actually do this whole thing without putting this into my calculator. So that is going to give me a negative value if you did do cos of 237 into your calculator. And actually, so obviously this is where the acute angles are, because that's, oh, that pen, because that's 90 degrees. So these are the acute angles. Well, there isn't an angle between 0 and 90 that has the same value as of cos as 237, because they're all going to give me positive values. So what I'm going to have to do is think about that part of the graph, because there is a value there, but then that wouldn't be an acute angle because it's got to be between 0 and 90. Sorry, my graph isn't looking very symmetrical. About 1 is it, but that's what it should be. But there is an angle that has the same magnitude. So this whole graph has rotational symmetry. So let's use a different color. So there is a value here that will have the same magnitude. So obviously the cos of this angle is going to be positive, but it will be the same magnitude as the cos of 237. So, well, what is that angle going to be? Well, we've said that that's 270. So if I do 270 minus 237, that part there is 33. So if I do the same there, if that's 33, then that is going to be 90 minus 33. So that is going to be 57. So what I can say is that cos of 237, well, it doesn't quite equal cos of 57, because as we've said, they're the same magnitude, so it's the same value, but this one's going to be positive and this one's going to be negative. So I can just put a minus there. So 57 is an acute angle. You can double check it on your calculator. So you can type in cos 237 and cos 57 and just check that they give you that does work. So in fact, I'm going to do the same just in case I've done something daft. Yep, okay. All right, so 1b. So same type of question, but I think they use sine for 1b. Yeah, okay, so sketch the sine curve. Okay, so there's 360, there's 180, 270 would be out there. Okay, oh, you can't see that. Right, so for this one, they've given me 312. So 312, let's say that's about there. Okay, so again, that is going to have a negative value, sine of 112. So this is the sine curve. Okay, and again, there isn't, so 90 would be there, and there isn't an acute angle, so there's 0 to 90, that has a negative sign, as in sign of the angle isn't negative. So I'm going to have to think again about how well I can get, oh, use the pen, I can get an acute angle that's got the same magnitude, Yep, so basically what we're saying there is that and that are the same, but obviously the blue trig ratio is negative, the red trig ratio is positive. So I can get something with the same magnitude, and I can do what we did for part A. I can just put a negative in front of it. So what is that angle? Well, that is going to be 360 take away 312. So that is going to be 48. And then again, I know my sketch isn't particularly great, but that is going to be the same magnitude. So that will also will also be 48. So that's going to be 48 degrees. So what we can say there then is that sine of 312 has the same magnitude as sine 48, but we just need to put a negative in front of it to make it work. Okay, and then so I'm assuming C is going to be about tan. Now, although tan has kind of got the most awkward graph, it can actually be the easiest one to work with because it just keeps repeating. So let's sketch a tan curve. Sorry. And then we've got our asymptotes, let's do those in a different colour. Okay, pretend that's a bit straighter than it looks. Quite mastered sketching on the iPad yet. Okay, right, so there's my axes, and that's the curve y equals tan x. Okay, so doesn't help that my axes does not look straight, does it? Let's try that again. Okay, so let's say, so there's my y-axis. Right, and then let's label on just a few key values. So that's 90, that's 180, that's going to be 270. So the blue lines are my asymptotes. So we want an acute angle that's got the same value as tan 190. So 190 is about there, not to scale. So this time we're good because there is an acute angle that does have the same value of tan as 190. And all I need to think here is, well, that and that are going to be the same. So those bits that are highlighted in yellow are going to be the same. So, so that, obviously from 180 to 190 is 10 degrees. So that will also be 10 degrees. So tan 190 will have the same value as tan 10. And again, you can just double check on your calculator that that does work. Just make sure we read the question properly. Minus sine 48 we had, tan 10 we had, and minus cos 57 we had. Lovely.